another Chart Nerd TA update. So this morning I'm diving back into Algorand for my daily technical analysis. And so basically today in the charts I've got a few just trend lines in here. Okay, so this is the red lines are resistance areas. Okay, the red lines are resistance and the green lines are our support. Okay, so right now you can see that we've got multiple areas of resistance above us. Okay, so we've got this 33 cents, okay, which is resistance here and here, okay, which we currently got rejected by a couple of days ago. Okay, and then you've got this level of resistance here for yourselves, okay, on algo, which is 38 cents. Okay, so there's 33 and 38, and then up here you've got that 41 cent high that we put in on Friday the 23rd of September. Okay, so that's the 41 cent, and then down here you can see that right now this is our foundational support area, okay, where we've got multiple points of contacts at 28 cents. Okay, so keeping all of that in mind, you can see here equally, okay, that we've got this descending trend line of resistance as well. Okay, now it's very hard to put an accurate price on where potentially we could be going up to or where we're going down to, as it's continuously changing, okay, over time. And then you've got this support line here, okay, this green line of support. So right now you can see that here on the daily time frame, Algorand's basically caught between a rock and a hard place, trying to figure out where it wants to go, what it wants to do, etc., etc., whether it's going to continue in this channel back down to potentially 28 cents to look for support, okay, or whether it's going to eventually come up and break through this trend line. Now for me on the daily time frame, if you do start to, you know, find this as a low, come up here, break above, hold it as support, and start to tackle above 33 cents, okay, and hold above that, that for me is your long signal. Okay, so our primary resistance moving forward here in the near short term, okay, is this trend line and equally 33 cents. Okay, so this is the area that we need to break in order for us to get that confirmation, okay, that we're looking to start to pump our way back up to resistance, previous resistance points at 38 cents, okay, here, and at 41, okay, but not until we break through this resistance. This is currently our strong resistance area, and then you've got resistance above, descending resistance here, sorry, and this is resistance above at 33 cents. So there's quite a lot in front of us at the moment. There's quite a few obstacles, and potentially right now we're just beginning this retracement down, potentially back down to the 28 cents, looking for a third retest in key areas of lows. Okay, because you got this low here, then you started to retrace, okay, and then you came back down, you formed this low here, and you started to retrace. Right now you're coming back down, okay, and you could potentially be forming this low here before you start to retrace, okay, and we could put in something called a triple bottom, you know. So it's all about holding this 28 cents, and you know, doing these daily updates sometimes it's quite hard, because I do like sticking to the daily time frame, and you know, not much changes within a day. But you can see here, if you used to buy in if you used to sell at these resistance points, okay, and buy in at these support areas, then you can just literally trade the ranges. Okay, so right now potentially you could say that if we fail to retest this resistance, right now we're looking to come back down for a higher level of support, and you can see if you do come down and retest that trend line, you would actually be back testing back down to these lows, okay, of which this impulsive wave started. Okay, so you basically came out and then you started to retrace back down to where you came from, and potentially you'd be coming back down to support on this trend line. So I would be looking to you know, potentially if you are still coming down, we can still make some trades here. Okay, if you do come down to this area and you do see a touch on this trend line, wherever it is, look for a long back up to resistance, okay, and you potentially be coming back up to this resistance point of which you was holding as support. You ran into resistance, you've lost it, and then you come back into it again. So you could trade this part here, okay, if we do come back down to it. Okay, so again, you've got this support, you turn that to resistance, okay, and then you've lost support here. If we lose support and retest, you could get this trade back up, okay, back into resistance. But for me, what it looks like right now is we are trying to come back down to this area, okay, and I did say in a few videos ago that you potentially had this A, this B, and this C wave, okay, whether it's to the closes or wherever it may be. But potentially what I think we've got on our hands is a 1 2 3 4 5, an Elliott wave. Okay, you got a 1, a 2, this is a 3, potentially that's a 4, potentially you come back down for support on the 28 cents for your wave 5. Of which again I would expect some sort of relief at least, okay, and at that point it would make a decision. Okay, if we did, you know, start to do this and you roll back down here, at this point, if you failed to break above resistance, okay, and we failed to hit this, okay, and we hit this as resistance at 33 cents, for example, and start to roll, you can see that if we do that, potentially, okay, you will have this new resistance line of something like this. Okay, I'm just going to change that to white so it looks different. But we could be coming down here, okay, we come down to this low, we come back up to this 33 cents, okay, which is resistance, and if we don't break through that and we start to retrace, you've got a low, okay, and then you've got a lower low, and potentially you're forming some sort of large descending triangle here, okay, and if you do lose support at that 28 cents, it could get very negative, and altcoins could particularly take some sort of battering, okay, because you're going to be losing foundational support. So I'm keeping a close eye here on the charts. Okay, I would expect some sort of bounce if he was to come down to that 28 cents. Okay, around that sort of area, or you start retesting these lower lows. Okay, I would expect some sort of bounce and relief. Okay, but if you do fail to tackle above key resistance once again, okay, here at this 33 cents, this is our key resistance right now, okay, in the near short term, okay, because coming back down here and breaking above that, okay, would be bullish, but if we get rejected, it would be quite bearish, okay, so as I said, you'll be putting in these lower highs here on the daily time frame. So if we was to come back down to that 28 cents, okay, and we did come back down here and retrace to this sort of area, if we was to start retracing back up to this high, again, you can see to be bang on and exact, the actual 050 mark, okay, would be at 33.9. I would expect us to retrace this 28, okay, and eventually, you know, start breaking out of this pattern, breaking out through this resistance here, okay, and then if you did start retracing, if you got rejected at 33 cents, okay, at the 050, that would indicate, okay, that you've got this depleting buying pressure and you're sort of coiling down, okay, so that would be our key resistance, okay, the 33 cent area is our key resistance to break, okay, if we was to come down to this 28 cents. But right now we could potentially hold this 236, okay, which sits at 30, okay, if we have come down like this, okay, and we're holding this 30 cents, if we start to come up, all we have to do is tackle this red line of resistance, okay, if you start to tackle that and get above 33 cents, okay, and hold that as support, that for me is your long signal, okay, because you're breaking out of this descending resistance. Okay, so you're going to be breaking out of, if you start to come up, break out of this resistance, okay, and break above 33 cents, you hold this as your lows, okay, and start to turn that to support, that's your long signal, okay, back up to these highs. But right now, as I said, you're caught between a range. It does look like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you are potentially coming back down to retest these lows, of which you'd be fulfilling this Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially. Okay, guys, so for me, that's a quick update for you on algo today. Do get these trend lines in your charts, because as I've said, it's literally a game of support and resistance, okay, and you're caught between a rock and a hard place until you make a decision here on the daily time frame. I have just released a Bitcoin update as well. I went quite into detail with that, and I was looking at some sort of patterns here for Bitcoin. I think it's a 535 irregular correction that Bitcoin's going through. And potentially right now we're on wave 4. The 25k for Bitcoin was the wave 4 high, and we're potentially looking to lose our local lows and retrace to I think it was around between 16 to 14k. So if Bitcoin was to do that, you know, this is where potentially you could see algo start to come down, get rejected by this point, and eventually lose its foundational support, okay. But again, none of it's a must, and right now we're just monitoring it moving forward. Nothing I say is financial advice, guys. Please do not take it as financial advice. It's all for educational purposes only. If you did enjoy today's content, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, from ChartNet TA, take care, everybody, and have a great day. Peace out.